How is it possible that a band that existed for only 8 years became a legend? The Doors were much more than just a rock band. They were a sonic, poetic, and emotional revolution. 4 unknown young men from California created a musical universe so unique that, decades later, their songs still shake, inspire, and challenge anyone daring enough to listen. In this video, we're going to dive into 15 of their most iconic songs from their explosive beginnings to their most intense and mysterious works. Songs that blend psychedelia, blues, poetry, and provocation, and that, over time, became timeless pieces. And at the end, I'll tell you why the music of the Doors will never stop being heard, and what it is that makes it so different, so alive, and so eternal. Let's begin. Light My Fire wasn't just a hit, it was an explosion. Released in 1967, it catapulted the Doors to stardom with its perfect blend of sensuality, psychedelia, and provocation. Largely written by Robby Krieger, but elevated by Ray Manzarek's unforgettable organ and Jim Morrison's hypnotic voice, this song became an anthem of desire and liberation. The line, "Come on, baby, light my fire," lit up more than just Radio Sid, ignited an entire generation. Interestingly, the original version ran over 7 minutes long, but it was cut down for radio play. Even so, it still shot straight to #1. Decades later, it continues to echo through movies, television shows, and countless covers. Because that mix of passion, mystery, and fire never goes out of style. Riders on the Storm is a storm turned into song. It was the last track the Doors recorded with Jim Morrison before his death, and you can feel it in every second. The atmosphere is dark, melancholic, almost ghostly. The keyboard falls like soft rain. Morrison's whispered voice drifts behind his lead vocals, and the slow, enveloping rhythm pulls you into a hypnotic journey through lonely roads and deep thoughts. The lyrics, inspired by ghost riders in the sky, mix mysticism with danger. "There's a killer on the road" isn't just a lineage, a warning, a symbol of both internal and external chaos. Riders doesn't just close an album, it closes an era, and it does so with a haunting beauty that continues to captivate new generations.
This is the end, beautiful.
The End is not a song, it's a ritual. Originally written as a breakup song, it evolved on stage into a nearly 12-minute epic full of symbolism, madness, and death. Its hypnotic atmosphere, Krieger's Indian-influenced guitar, and Morrison's deep voice create a journey straight into the darkest corners of the soul. The lyrics include one of the most controversial lines in rock history, an allusion to the Oedipus complex that even got them temporarily banned from the Whiskey A Go-Go. But that's also what makes it unique. The End is the song where Morrison becomes a shaman, a spiritual guide, a provocateur, and a poet. It's not a track you simply listen to, it's one you pass through.
You know the day destroys the night. Break on through to the other side.
Break On Through was the Doors' introduction to the world and man. Did they kick that door down? As the opening track on their debut album, it's an explosion of energy, urgency, and rebellion from the very first second, with a rhythm section that blends rock, bossa nova, and jazz, and Morrison's wild voice leading the charge. The song screams in your ear, break your limits, cross to the other side. It wasn't a major hit at the time, but over the years, it's become an essential classic. It's the battle cry of a generation that wanted more, that refused to settle for the status quo. Today, it still sounds as fresh as it did in 1967, because at some point, we all want to break free and cross to the other side.
Women seem wicked when you're unwanted, when you're strange. No one remembers you.
People Are Strange is the perfect song for anyone who's ever felt out of place. Slow, mysterious, and almost theatrical, it captures that deep sense of alienation we've all felt at one time or another. From the very first chord, Manzarek's keyboard builds a world of partone where strangeness isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. Morrison's voice enters like a whisper that understands what you can't quite put into words. People Are Strange When You're a Stranger isn't just a linnets, a mirror. And even though it sounds melancholic, it actually wraps around you, gives you a sense of belonging, and says, it's okay to be different. That's why it's never stopped being an anthem for those who walk along the edges.
I'll keep your eyes on the road you had. Just for the
Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. With that line, Roadhouse Blues kicks off and you're already in. Gritty guitar, raspy vocals, and raw energy that makes you want to crack open a beer and hit the gas. This is The Doors, at their most down-to-earth and wild, where rock becomes pure instinct. Recorded almost live in just 2 days, it's got everything a great bar song needs: chaos, groove, and authenticity. Morrison doesn't sing, he spits the words. And the band backs him with a dirty, perfect swing. It's blues, it's rock, it's the open road, it's sweat. And that's why it remains an undeniable classic.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, now touch me, babe. And I'm gonna love you till
Touch Me was The Doors' unexpected turn, and it worked. With its elegant blend of psychedelic rock, orchestral arrangements, and an explosive saxophone solo, the band proved they could sound sensual, sophisticated, and still powerful. Written by Robby Krieger, and with Morrison in full crooner mode, the song revealed a more accessible side without losing any edge. The lyrics are direct pure desire and emotional urgency. Come on, come on, come on, now touch me. Babe feels like a plea wrapped in seduction. It reached number 3 on the charts, and even though it leaned more pop than their usual sound, it remains one of their most iconic tracks, thanks to that perfect mix of emotion and elegance.
look around, they which way the wind blow.
LA Woman is The Doors, in their purest form, wild, free, and deeply tied to their city. It's a love-hate letter to Los Angeles, turned into an almost 8-minute journey where blues fuses with the restless spirit of the open road. It's also the last great work with Jim Morrison, recorded shortly before his death. The song has an urban soul and a desert rhythm, and right in the middle, Mr. Mojo Risen emerges an anagram of Morrison's name that sounds like a chant, a summoning. It's his farewell, his final roar, and at the same time, a celebration of everything he was. Raw, electric, and eternal.
when the music's over.
When the Music's Over is more than a song, it's a statement. Clocking in at nearly 11 minutes, The Doors take their time to improvise, expand, and soar without limits. It's poetry, protest, psychedelic trance, and blues all rolled into one. Morrison delivers with force. We want the world and we want it now. It's a desperate, visionary scream. It speaks of death, environmental destruction, and the soul's erosion in modern life. But it also defends the transformative power of music. When the music's over, what's left? That's the question. And the Doors don't give you the answer, they make you feel it.
The old get old and the young get stronger.
5 to 1 is Ward's Confrontation. It's Morrison unleashed. Raw and direct, the song hits with a marching rhythm and distorted guitar that feels like a preview of hard rock and metal. But what makes it unforgettable is the attitude. They've got the guns, but we've got the numbers. Many saw it as a call to revolution. Morrison said it wasn't political, but that hardly matters. The intensity is there. In every word, spit with fury. Created almost entirely through studio improvisation, it sounds like the only thing they needed to say. And sometimes, that's more than enough.
All through the week, love me 2 times, I'm gone.
Love Me 2 Times blends desire, farewell, and blues with brutal ease. Written by Robby Krieger, the song features one of the Doors' most recognizable riffs and a rhythm that sticks with you. But behind that catchy sound is a love story on the edge of soldier, spending one last night with his partner before heading off to war. The guitar feels dirty and sensual, while Manzarek's harpsichord adds a strange yet addictive Baroque twist. It stirred controversy at the time, even getting banned on some radio stations, but that only fueled its legend. A farewell disguised as a clean, eternal classic.
Wait until the war is over. Unknown soldier.
The Unknown Soldier is a political bomb in the form of a song. Direct, unsettling, theatrical. Jim Morrison and the band take aim at the way media and society trivialize war, especially the Vietnam War. Breakfast, where the news is read. Television children fed. It's raw poetry, unfiltered. Musically, it's a sonic collage of gunshots, marching, bells, and dramatic shifts. On stage, Morrison would simulate being executed, turning each performance into a protest. It wasn't one of their biggest chart hits, but it stands as one of their most powerful moments. A manifesto in under 3 minutes.
I have to see you again and again.
Spanish Caravan is pure psychedelic beauty with a flamenco soul. From Robby Krieger's first strum drawing inspiration from the classical piece Asturiasio, know this isn't your typical song. It's one of the most unique tracks in the Doors catalog, and that's what makes it unforgettable. The lyrics, written by Morrison, are an invitation to journey, to discovery, to the mystical. It evokes distant lands, treasures, ruins, and landscapes, but also an inner search. It's rock, yes, but also poetry and classical music fused into one. A hidden gem that transports you the moment you close your eyes.
She lives on Love Street, links me and she.
Love Street is the Doors, at their most intimate and romantic. Written by Jim Morrison for Pamela Corson, his partner, the song paints a bohemian portrait of their life together in Laurel Canyon, little artistic haven in Los Angeles, filled with poets, musicians, and dreamers. There's no chaos or provocation, here only calm, contemplation, and affection. Musically, it drifts away from their usual psychedelic sound and leans into Baroque pop, with soft arrangements and a warm melody. It's a glimpse into Morrison's more human side, a breath of tenderness in the middle of so much darkness. Gentle, beautiful, and deeply personal.
Not to touch the earth, not to see the sun. Let's run.
Not to Touch the Earth is pure poetic chaos disguised as a dark ritual, part of the ambitious, epic celebration of the lizard. This fragment is all that made it onto the album, but it condenses the full hallucinogenic force of The Doors. With a fragmented structure, shifting rhythms, and unsettling energy, it feels more like an experience than a song. The line, "I am the Lizard King, I can do anything," became one of Morrison's most iconic mantras, a declaration of power, madness, and transcendence. Here, Jim doesn't sing, he invokes, and the band follows him like they're opening a portal to another realm. Psychedelia at its wildest. After going through these songs, it's time to answer the big question. Why will the music of The Doors never stop being heard? The answer lies in a unique combination that very few bands have ever achieved. First, Jim Morrison's lyrics poetic, intense, and provocative. He didn't just sing about love or rebellion. He spoke of death, desire, freedom, alienation, of the human experience in its rawest, most honest form, and that never goes out of style. Second, the fusion of styles. Rock, blues, jazz, flamenco, classical. The Doors didn't sound like anyone else. And because they never followed trends, they were never trapped in a single era. Their songs sound just as alive today as they did 50 years ago. And third, the chemistry between the four: Krieger, Manzarek, Densmore, and Morrison. Each one was a world of their own, and together, they were the perfect storm. When they played, they didn't just make music, they opened doors. That's why The Doors are still here, because they didn't just write songs, they created experiences. And those experiences continue to speak to new generations. They're still a refuge, a mirror, a spark, and now it's your turn. What's your favorite song by The Doors? Is there one that marked you, that brings back memories, that hits you every time you hear it? We'd love to hear from you. Drop your answer in the comments. If this journey through their music stirred something in you, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more stories like this. Thanks for being on the other side. See you in the next video.